Welcome to Retirement Ramblings. I'm Scott, and today is day 32 on my countdown to retirement. And today we're going to give you an update on 30 days of carnivore, how I fared, what was the good, and what was the bad. So let's get into it. So last night, before I went to bed, I made my version of a carnivore pizza, which was a mixture of mozzarella cheese and Swiss cheese that I put on parchment paper, kind of in a circular pattern. Then I put 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive and garlic pasta sauce on top, and I don't know, 4 or 5 pepperonis. I put it in the oven for 15 minutes on 400, and let it melt out, and the cheese and the sauce kind of meld together. And then when I took it out, I let it cool for a few minutes to harden up. It was still a little bit soft in the center, but the outside 2/3 or better was crunchy, so it was easy, reasonably easy to pick up. So that worked out pretty good. So now for day 32, which is 30 days on the carnivore diet. So I started the carnivore diet on the 1st of November. I had a doctor's appointment and did lab work back in, I want to say it was 27th or so of, I think I went and saw the doctor on the 27th of October. So right before the start of the carnivore diet, I went and saw the doctor. I had lab work done, etc. So I knew what my beginning numbers were kind of officially. And then I started tracking the situation as I went through the last 30 days. So I took my original weight, I did my measurements. I already had previously had my A1C done. And so now it was, what was going to happen week over week. So what was the result after 30 days? So my weight is now 202.6 pounds. I've lost 6.625 inches. My blood glucose has improved dramatically. So my morning blood glucose is now 102 milligrams per deciliter. My 7-day average is 111 milligrams per deciliter. My 14-day is also 111. My 30-day is 121. And my 90-day is 124. And my A1C as of today was 7.5, and that's down from 8.9 at the start of carnivore. And for those who aren't type 2 diabetics, just so you'll know, it takes 4 months to be able to get your A1C down, because the A1C represents a 90 to 120 day average of your blood glucose. So the beta cells die from your pancreas and they attach, and so once they start dying, you're not rejuvenating them, they have to be redone. So that cycle takes 90 to 120 days, so you can't get a new reading, a true reading, until after that 4-month window. So I have a home kit that's a professional kit that my wife got me for Christmas a year or two ago, and it has 20 I think it's 20 tests in it. So I'm down to I think I have 4 or 5 left, but I use it to keep track of where I stand over time. And so anyway, I took the measurements that I just recorded for you, or just documented for you. And then I made some no sugar bacon and three eggs. And then my wife, unfortunately, was up most of the night. She's either got a stomach bug or she had food poisoning. I'm not quite sure which. We ate exactly the same thing yesterday with 2 exceptions. One, she asked me to make her a salad, so I went out and bought romaine lettuce and among other salad-related stuff. So I made her a salad, and then she also had some cinnamon cake thing. So because romaine lettuce is romaine, and like they always have these outbreaks, I don't know if that's what it was. I mean, I had washed the romaine, I spun it dry, did all the things that you normally do to prepare a salad to make sure it's cleaned, but she got sick, so I'm not taking any chances. It's a 3-pack of romaine. I just threw the rest of it away because I certainly don't want her to be sick. And in fact, to the point, she's still in bed, right? So she was up all night. Right then she got up, and she was up all night. It wasn't just that she couldn't sleep. Like, she was vomiting, having other problems. So, all during the night, and then she's been sleeping in, and during the day it's continued. So it's definitely either a stomach bug or food poisoning. We'll see what happens. So she's still in bed now. All she's really had the whole day is water. So hopefully she'll feel better. Or go to the doctor if she doesn't. So then as I indicated yesterday, I was going to try and get by a Best Buy to pick up an over-the-air antenna. I did do that. I went out to a Best Buy that's about 13 or so miles from where I live. And they said that they had this particular model that I wanted in stock. I got there. I went to the area where it was supposed to be. They had all the other models, but not the one that I wanted. So I flagged down 2 different Best Buy employees who didn't work in that department, but they said they would get me somebody. So after about 20 minutes, somebody showed up that worked in the department. I had paper with me to show them that they were supposed to have this model and it was supposed to be in stock. So they looked it up on the computer and they're like, yep, we have it. But it was back in the warehouse section. So another 15 or 20 minutes, the guy was in the back, finally came out with the unit that I wanted. And so then I came home, I installed it, I scanned the channels, and I gotta say, the thing is freaking awesome. It picked up 56 channels, all of them were clear. The unit's only $24.99, and it way outperforms my $80 unit that's a Mohu Gateway Plus. Both are amplified. For $24.99, this thing cannot be beat. It's a BE-ANT 600HA model. If you're in the market for an amplified, indoor only HD over-the-air antenna, highly recommend you check it out. I mean, it was super simple to set up, and like I said, it's dual-sided. So one side's black, one side's white. So hopefully it'll match whatever decor you would need. Anyway, I just, like I said, if it wasn't that my wife wanted like the History Channel and a couple other channels, I could live with just the over-the-air antenna and a $14.99 a month subscription to CNBC, and I personally would be happy, and that would be the total cost of my television entertainment. But I need those other channels, so that's why we're doing Sling. Anyway, I got that. Like I said, I installed it. Everything was great. And then for lunch, I decided to make some shaved beefsteak and some white American cheese, kind of my version of a Philly cheesesteak, without the bread, without the onions, and without the mushrooms. But anyway, it was pretty decent. And then while I haven't had dinner yet, my plan is to make a top sirloin because, as I said, my wife is still in bed and not feeling well, so I doubt she'll be eating. Now, circling back to carnivore, the only negative thing I have to say about it is because it's an elimination diet, and prior to going on carnivore, I used to eat a lot of vegetables that have oxalates in them. So broccoli, Brussels sprouts. I also would have, mushrooms, cauliflower, whatever. I also drank a lot of black tea. For me, and not everyone goes through that, but for me, on carnivore, when I stop eating those foods, I basically get oxalate dumping. And so literally both of I'll call it my sides, flank area, down on my waist and around my back. So if you go from here, let's say this is your sides, and you come around the back about 2/3 in, that whole section on both sides, I've broken out what looks like a really horrible rash. Now, it doesn't itch, it doesn't hurt, it just looks bad. And that's how, my skin, which happens to be the biggest organ on your body, that's how it, for me, gets rid of these oxalates. Some people get crystals that come in their eyes, and they get other things that aren't pleasant. Knock on wood, I don't get that. So the first time around I was on Carnivore, I didn't know that's what it was. And so I actually went to the dermatologist. They did a skin biopsy of one of the rash areas. Came back as, it was just inflamed situation, and basically they said while I'm doing Carnivore, if I want to not have that happen, basically I can take a Zyrtec 24-hour every single day, and the histamines inside of the Zyrtec will help minimize the rash, if you will, and if it was itching, it would stop the itching. Well, I don't like taking pills. I take the least amount that I possibly can. So I did try that the first time around. It did lighten things up, but not materially enough that it was worth me taking it every single day. So I stopped doing that. I also got, and I can't pronounce it right, but it's like dexamethasone, whatever, which is like this cream, or really it's an ointment, not a cream, that is 0.5% of this chemical that you can put on there and use it up to 2 weeks. And it's basically like a steroid that, will lighten them up or, make it basically go away. While I have the stuff, I haven't been using it because I can't really reach the areas where I need to put it on. And I really don't want my wife putting it on and getting a steroid because it's absorbed through the skin. So through your dermis, I don't want her getting steroids on her hands to put it on my back. So that's really the only issue. My hunger has decreased. My energy level has gone up. I'm sleeping less because I have more energy. So those are all the good things. Like I said, with the weight loss and the blood glucose control is fantastic from my perspective in 30 days. The only negative thing is the oxalate dumping / rash that I'm getting there. And other than it doesn't look good, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't, nobody sees it because I'm not walking around in the fall / winter without a shirt on. So, presumably it'll clear up, over time as I continue to do this. So that is my update for today and for the Carnivore diet for the last 30 days. So if you have any questions or any comments, please leave them in the comment section down below or drop me an email at myretirementramblings@gmail.com. Otherwise, I hope you have a great evening, and until tomorrow, take care.